Hello and welcome to episode 82 of Rivers Arcade Review. My name is Ed. My channel is dedicated to the coin-operated video games of yesteryear. Today I'll be reviewing a favorite of mine, Rally X. Rally X was released in 1980 by Namco and licensed to Midway. My first time playing this game was at Laredo Lanes in Chicago, Illinois. Rally X is a combination maze and racing game in which you control a race car with a 4-way joystick and a smoke screen button. You control a blue race car through a maze of streets in an attempt to collect 10 yellow flags that are randomly spread out around the playfield. You need to collect the flags in the fastest time possible. You begin at the bottom of the playfield with 3 red enemy cars immediately behind you. You need to avoid these cars at all costs because if one contacts your car, it will explode with a bang and you will lose a life. Your car will move upward as soon as the round begins. Your car will always travel in the same direction unless you change direction with the joystick. If you run into a wall, your car will change directions at random. Your car will also travel at a constant speed. In addition to the enemy cars, there are rocks blocking several of the roads. These rocks must also be avoided at all costs because they can't be destroyed. You have a limited amount of fuel for your car, and you can track the amount on the right side of the monitor just below the scores. The gauge will be marked with 10 hash marks. If your fuel level gets to the 1.5 hash mark level, the gauge will turn red and you will hear a loud beeping that warns you that you are low on fuel. If you run out of fuel, your car will slow down and the red cars will overtake your car and destroy it. If you lose a life, you will begin the next life with a full tank of fuel. Just below the fuel gauge is the radar screen. This screen will aid you in the approximate location of the yellow flags you need to collect. This screen will also show you the location of the enemy cars. The yellow dots will show you where the flags are, and the red dots will show you where the enemies are. The white flashing dot is your car. The screen will not show the road layout or the rocks that block the road, so you still need to look out for those. At the beginning of each round, your car is invulnerable for about 1 1/3 seconds, and the enemy cars will not move. Once the 1 1/3 second passes, the red cars will begin chasing you down. You are able to travel through the red cars during the invulnerable time. After the red cars begin to move, you need to avoid them at all costs. The enemy cars will travel at approximately your speed, although they can maneuver to chase you down. You do have a defense against the cars. Pressing the button will create a smoke screen behind your car. Each press of the button will cause your car to expel 3 puffs of smoke. If you change directions or lanes before all 3 puffs appear, smoke will come out where your car is at the time it appeared, so the smoke can appear in a non-linear formation. You need to use the smoke screen sparingly because using it will burn more fuel than driving normally. Once you collect all 10 flags, the round will end. You'll receive bonus points for the remaining fuel in your car. The second round will begin with 4 cars instead of 3, making it harder. Just like round 1, the red cars will not move for 1 1/3 seconds. Just like round 1, you still need to collect the 10 yellow flags that are scattered around the playfield. After completing the second round, you will play a challenging stage. This stage plays similar to the previous stages, whereas you need to collect the 10 yellow flags, although this time you are doing the equivalent of racing the clock. The round will begin just like previous rounds, although you will be traveling about 40% faster than normal. This extra speed will burn fuel faster and make it a little more difficult to control your car. Challenging stages will always have 8 enemy cars, 5 at the bottom and 3 at the top. There will also be extra rocks blocking your path. The enemy cars will not move during this round unless your fuel runs out. If you crash during a challenging stage, you will lose a life. After finishing the challenging stage, the road layout will change as well as the road dividers, which will now be brown as opposed to green. This round will play the same as before, although there will now be 5 enemy cars that will be chasing you. The enemy cars will also be slightly faster than you, so you need to use extra caution. The next 2 rounds will be played on the same maze, although each level will add another enemy car. Just like the challenging stages, there will be a maximum of 5 cars starting at the bottom, and all extra cars will be at the top. There will be a maximum of 8 cars on any stage. After finishing level 6, you will face another challenging stage on the same maze you played the previous rounds. Just like the previous challenging stage, you will be moving much faster than normal, as well as 8 enemy cars waiting for you to run out of fuel. After finishing the challenging stage, there will be another new road layout. This time the road dividers will be dark green. From now on, there will always be 8 enemy cars, 5 starting at the bottom and 3 at the top. For the next 3 rounds, the cars will move even faster, making it harder for you to evade them. After completing 3 rounds, you will face another challenging stage. After facing the challenging stage, you will have yet another new road layout. Now the road dividers will be gray. This layout has the toughest layout of them all because it has dead ends. The cars once again will travel even faster. After completing 3 levels with this layout, you will have yet another challenging stage. After completing the challenging stage, you will return to the first road layout at a harder difficulty. As the game moves on, your race car will burn fuel at a faster rate. In the beginning, it will take approximately 7 seconds to burn through 1/10 of a tank of fuel. Once you reach the second road layout, it will take only 6 seconds to burn the same tenth of a tank. As the levels move on, your car will burn fuel faster and faster. On all challenging stages, you'll burn 1/10 of a tank every 4 seconds. Management settings not only allow the number of cars you begin with, but also how many enemy cars will be added each level. If the settings are on medium, round 1 will begin with 3 cars, 2 enemy cars will be added each level instead of 1, to a maximum of 8 enemy cars. If the settings are on hard, round 1 will begin with 6 enemy cars, and 2 will be added to round 2 for the maximum of 8. Earlier in the video, I mentioned how many cars were added per round was for the easy setting. Scoring for the game is as follows. You will earn 100 points for collecting the first flag, and the score will increase 100 points for each additional flag you collect. If you can collect all 10 flags without losing your life, the last flag will be worth 1,000 points. One of the flags will have an S next to it. Collecting this flag will earn you double points for that flag as well as every other flag after that. Scoring will return to 100 points for the first flag if you lose a life or after you clear a level. Scoring tip is if you are able to collect all 10 flags in one life, the last one will always be worth 2,000 points, because even if the last flag you collect is the S flag, it will be worth 1,000 points times 2. I really enjoyed playing this game and highly recommend playing it whether you can find it in an arcade setting or on an emulator. I enjoyed this game more than Marble Madness, but not as much as Donkey Kong, so Rally X drives its way into the 13th position overall. Thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any games you'd like me to review, please leave a message below or on my homepage. Please remember to hit like, share, and subscribe, and stay tuned to new videos every Wednesday and Sunday.